Hey YouTube, we're gonna do a quick, meet our lizards. Really, for all you new guys out there, it's gonna give you a chance to see, all of our guys and those that have been following along. Just a nice little update for you. Didn't bring my tripod down here, so I'm using my hand, so this should be fun. So we're just gonna start off with Frankie here. It's feeding day, and just his cage is just always the first one I go to. Frankie is an adult male Cuban rock iguana, also known as Cyclura nubila, or nubila, I don't know, however the heck you want to pronounce all that. He came to us from our good buddies at Starborn Reptiles down in South Florida. Frankie's, I think, about 10 or 11 years old now. He was about 9 when we got him from them, and he's a good boy. He was, when he first came to us, he was just, older, a little set in his ways, in a completely new environment. And so it took him a little while to come around. We've had him for, gosh, almost a couple of years now, I think, and we've just gone slow with him. I never forced anything. I just, if I went to slowly pet him and I could tell he wasn't having it, I backed off. But now you can see, he's just a perfect boy. That's the body language you want right there. So you see, head's up in the air, body's off the ground, and that's a key right here. So the tail is up and it's going curved down and touching. If it was up and the entire tail was up off the ground, that's him saying he's pissed off and he's going to whip you if you get closer. So this is perfect body language. And Frankie is just such a good boy. Look at him. Yeah, he's a good boy, Frank. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, so next up we have our one pair of rhino iguanas, also known as Cyclura cornuta. This right here is our boy Sully, who is a hungry boy. And then we've got our girl Tammy, she's the boss. She is 100% the boss. These guys are both from Starborn Reptiles as well. Sully here is a Queenie offspring. If you guys follow Starborn at all, Queenie is basically like their mascot. So I got him. He was about 2 years old when I got him, and he was just a perfect gentleman right off the rip. Tammy, they actually sent me Tammy at the same time that they sent me Sully here, and they, she was one that they were having trouble, selling just because she was a little cray-cray, and some of them just are. And they wanted to make the cage space. They knew I was going to give her a good home, so they sent her to me, and said, I think you can tame her. Go for it. So when I got her, she was a little cray-cray. So she was she's just defensive. She just being a little wackadoodle. But got her, put her in this nice big cage, which is, it's torn apart and it really looks like crap, but it's good for him now. Put her in here and just took my time with her, sat in here, followed, I did my taming instructions, which are in some other videos. And within a month, she was just a perfect angel with me. And now everybody loves Tammy because she's just such a sweetheart. And same with Sully boy. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. So yeah, so these guys are my one pair of rhinos. We did have another pair. We actually just recently rehomed them to a new buddy of ours, Jonathan, who's here local to Metro Atlanta. He's given them just a fantastic home, great outdoor enclosure. We just needed to cut down a little bit on what we had, since the breeding wasn't happening the way we wanted to. So so these are now our one pair of rhinos, and they are just phenomenal animals, and we love them just so much. All right, next up on our list, he's the mascot. He is the man, the myth, the legend, Diego. And yes, again, I know cage looks like absolute crap. All these cages do need to get redone, but the important thing is he has tons of space, and he gets his basking and all that. But anyway. So Diego here, he's looking just a tiny bit rough, because what he was actually doing is, he breaks out of this cage all the time because, crappy chicken wire. And he roams the basement, and what he was actually doing, we had Ron and Bindi, they were in a grow tent, and basically he kept climbing up and dropping himself down through the top vent hole, and he was just basically living in there. And then I would take him out, put him back in this cage. The next day, he was back there in there with them. And surprisingly, they got along. They were never fighting. So that kind of went on for a while. So he wasn't eating as much because he was just constantly basically moving around and just, yeah, it was a weird situation. Very, very weird. But yeah, he's perfectly good. He's just, now that he's back on his own and not living with the rhinos anymore on his own choice, he is back in here. He is ready to shed. As you can kind of see, he's got a little spot up there that's got nothing. But yeah, Diego is just the bestest boy. He is a sweetheart. He's kind of like a cat. A lot of people ask, what's the best Cyclura to get as a pet? And, I mean, each one is different. From my experience, the Lewis eyes are definitely like cats, where they'll come over, they'll take the pets, they'll take the attention and all that on their terms. But they're typically not the ones that are, running over to you, climbing up you, getting the love like maybe the rhinos would be. So Diego's our scaly cat, but he's a good boy. All right, so next up, so this is actually the OG. This is Baby G, also known as Baby Giancarlo. He was the very first Cyclura I got a few years ago, and he's just turning into a beast. And you can see his belly's a little empty. It's been a few days since we fed them. We were a little late going grocery shopping. He's a little bit of a crazy boy, but it's slowly a work in progress. He's in here eating, and then there's trash all over this room. It's miserable. And then there's his girl Gabby. She's perfect for him. But so Baby G here is from Manny Hernandez. He is just a beast of an animal, and eventually when I can get him some outdoor caging, he's going to be just incredible. Gabby Girl is from San Pascucci at Florida Iguana Tortoise Breeders. And, she's a beautiful girl as well, who in the sun is going to be just amazing. But, yeah, so there's those two guys. Alrighty, now over here, this is our boy Freddy. Freddy is a Thai Park line. Oh, I love when it comes off like that. We're not sure which line he is. When I got him, it was kind of an unknown. But he's just turned into such a good boy. Lighter head and neck, and then, a little bit darker on the rest of his body. Which is fine. It's something a little different. But I love when they shed like that. So Freddy here is a good boy. His girl all the way up there, she is shedding in patches, and that bulb is out. Not a big deal. That's our girl Sky. She's another one from Manny Hernandez. And these guys they get along perfectly. So it's pretty great. Very, very thankful they get along so well. And then last but not least, we got this little crazy boy here. We do have a couple others, our holy grail, so to speak. Our little Kevin, male, actually looks female. Our Benny, female. And we have Peter, who's a Smurfy female. They're in that other room, but that room, just in all honesty, it's pretty trash, and we got to do some work to it. So I'm not trying to show off the dirty bits of the room to get to them. But they're doing well. But this crazy boy here, he's a Thai Park. Again, we don't know which one. But he's a really, really handsome boy, really good size. Yeah, he's just taken over this room. He lives here in the tortoise pen, which, why did that light just go out? He's been living in here with them. He's a good boy. He is available if anyone is looking for a good sized lizard. So just let me know. But yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed checking out our lizards and getting a little look-see on them, and we'll catch y'all next time.